play doubles is much more difficult than singles because because there is also communication in the complicated shots, and also it's two different brains.
You're playing a Scotch doubles format. It's unusual to your standard play, and you're playing for your country, and it's a team event actually because there's two players involved, and it's pretty exciting.
I think the power of our team is first our temperament. That thing are actually connecting us because we are maybe almost same temperament, and we have a big sport spirit.
I think we play the same style pool. We know the pattern together, and that's why, you know, I think we can do well.
Our opponent's Earl the Pearl, is a legend, and for me, first time I play against him, it's a dream come true for me.
We've got to go in there and stay composed and break well and do everything right, you know, because it's a short format. You know, you can't really afford too many ill-advised mistakes.
The man of the moment, the Pearl, always intense, always focused. His life revolves around a 4.5 by 9 foot surface.
Thank you. Okay, yeah.
Customary handshakes, Ted. Croatia versus USA.
And it's Ivica Putnik. And
Croatia win the lag.
he wins the lag.
Well, they're hoping that's a sign of things to come. Trying to take out the 5th seeded USA.
Well, that man, 3-time WPA
Thank you.
World
Race to 7 ranks.
9-ball champion.
First rank, Croatia to break.
5-time US Open champion. 16-time major champion. Hall of Famer. It'll be Carlo Dalmatin kicking things off here for Croatia. Already a nice break. 1 ball down, Jim, and also the orange 5.
One on the side, the 2 doesn't go. He's looking at a possible 2-9, but fraught with danger and very risky and far from being set. The only good thing about this is it should run safe if he misses it.
He's actually looking at the 2-9. Wow. It may go in the side, no?
Well, he's left a chance at the 2. Brought the cue ball over to the bottom side of the table as we look from our overhead perspective, and that's left a chance for Earl Strickland, one of the greatest shot makers the sport has ever seen. Now, the only reason that Earl refused that is it just didn't afford position to the 3, but I have to tell you, Ted, very surprised he didn't go with that 2.
Yeah. Earl will talk to just about anybody who will listen, and even those who won't listen, including I don't think Shane's really going to pay attention to him.
Well, I'll wager Earl wishes he'd have gone for the 2 now.
That was surprising, Jim. I mean, it looked like he could have got position on the 3. He said one of the greatest shot makers ever decides to play safety when he had an open shot. This is Putnik now.
Yeah, if this was basketball, they might have a slight advantage. Very tall, both the players from Croatia. Didn't leave himself enough room. but a good containing shot.
Yeah. You see that number 3 on the back of Shane's jersey. That's referring to Shane having won the U.S. Open 3 times. He has won the last 2 in a row as well.
Yes, he goes to Virginia as the 2-time defending champion. No one's ever won 3 in a row. A couple players have had chances. Mika Immonen won 2 in a row. Nick Varner won 2 in a row. Darren Appleton won 2 in a row.
These two made an interesting pair last year. A lot of you may recall who watched it that they got in a bit of an argument in their first round match, and Putnik was telling me that he kept telling his partner Carlo to do one thing, and like, this is where I need you to leave the ball, and then Carlo would say yeah, but then when he get up to the table, he kept leaving it in a totally different location. So there was a bit of an issue of camaraderie there. They are good friends, and but it just Carlo, or rather Ivica, was really upset last year. It made for good television. There you see the 5 on the back of Earl's jersey.
That's how many U.S. Opens Strickland has won.
Both these players, Shane and Earl, have great rhythms. Real fun to watch.
Played very well in Vegas, last Mosconi Cup. Very nice pairing, won their match. I'll tell you what, nobody would be surprised if they went all the way here in Portsmouth.
That was quick.
They're always in the hunt, and there's their history in the World Cup of Pool. The last time Earl was in this, back in 2006, he partnered Rodney Morris to the 2nd place finish, and he hasn't played since.
And Bamboning, a winner in the 2008 World Cup of Pool with Rodney Morris. Oh, look at this break. Except it's a difficult shot on the 2 ball. 3 balls down.
Great shot from Dalmatin there.
How about that pot? That'll make the Q arm loosen up quickly.
Close to his work. Can pull this back and leave a 6-7 combination into the bottom corner. Got to be careful though. Don't want to push this.
Combination. Oh no. He didn't want to hit that too hard because he needed the position, and that's the reason the ball didn't go down, Jim. It just sort of sat there in the jaws.
Gift wrap this one for America.
Wow, Croatia does all the hard work in this rack, and the USA gets the point.
And 2-0. Team USA off to a flyer here against Croatia, and Putnik not happy with the way the table's running for sure. But he left himself awkward on that shot, Ted, and he had to slow roll it. He was pretty straight, cue ball near the cushion. It was a tricky shot. But he knows it's one that got away. Well, his partner's doing his best to try and keep Putnik light and in the moment. Very important. That's why I really like Holland this year. Niels and Nick Vandenberg. We just saw them win 7-3, but being good
Rack
friends
3,
off the table,
USA
I think is a
break, leading
huge
by 2
component.
racks to 0.
Superb talent helps as well. This man right here, the Pearl, he is a magnet too, boy. The crowd, everybody gathered around him earlier while he was waiting for the match, asking for autographs. It's an electrifying player and personality. Good break here. The 1 ball down, the 6 ball down, and a shot on the 2.
Yeah, toughest shot might be right here from the 2 to the 3. Well, he's going to leave himself, or leave Earl a tricky 3 down the right-hand cushion. This is the shot of the rack right here.
Oh, perfection. You know what, Jim? So far, Earl doing a good job of keeping it under control. He's obviously very intense, as he always is, but no noticeable outbursts yet.
Well, everything's kind of going their way, Ted. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But they do both play at similar speeds around the table. They just get down, and tremendous shot making ability. And they can make the game look preposterously easy. Earl Strickland, Shane Van Boning, 3-0 up on Croatia. The race to 7 continues. There'll be more World Cup action following the short break. USA looking very strong here at the Mountbatten Center in Portsmouth.
Break, leading by 3 racks to 0.
The World Cup of Pool, they know what it's like finding the winner's circle. And Earl and Shane Van Boning know what it's like to be a winner. Very important. Big breaks. I always say it, Ted, it's like having, oh, look at that. Cue ball up on the rail and back onto the playing surface, but a ball down, an illegal break.
Well, it very nearly jumped off the table. Watch that cue ball up to the rail and back down. And it came back down, Jim, because he had spin on the ball. It was actually still spinning.
Lads, a bit quieter, please, when the player's on the shot.
But I always say having a big break is such a weapon in pool. And Shane Van Boning, arguably one of the biggest, hardest, and heaviest breaks in the game. Just left the window here for the 4. Earl's going to have to punch this in and bring it around the angles. Draw this with a lot of side spin.
Wow.
And make sure he doesn't hit anything, and that's nicely done.
Boy, when he is on his game, there is nobody better to watch. Earl.
Well, Van Boning says Earl Strickland's his favorite player. Most of the players, you look at their bios, and I'd say about 80% of them say Efren Reyes. Shane, he likes the Pearl.
Well, if these two keep this up, they're going to be unstoppable. And so far, emotionally, Earl Strickland has kept it together.
Not intended, but it'll work. You'd have to expect Shane to get this into the side. Looking to book a place in the round of 16 against Russia. Russia there by virtue of a 7-6 win over Japan. The USA looking to get a much smoother passage.
There you see Team Croatia, an afterthought at this point. And there's the format, 32 two-man teams from 31 nations. The home side, England, gets 2 teams, side A and side B, Scotch doubles format, alternating shots, winner breaks. First and second rounds race to 7, then it'll go to a race to 9 in the quarters and semis, and the final will be a race to 10. 30-second shot clock. Each team is allowed 1 extension per rack.
One down, 7 in the side. It looks like the 3 has come to help Team Croatia. Unless, can Shane just get through to this too? He may have to just jump over the edge. Had to jump over the edge of that 3 to get that 2. What a shot from Van Boning.
So he took off. It wasn't exactly a jump cue that he used. He took off the bottom part of his cue stick, right? So what would you call that kind of cue that he, not a full cue stick, right, Jim? So what is that? It's not a full short stick either.
Correct. That's exactly what the game plan was there, and obviously to perfection. Yeah, this American juggernaut right now. I mean, you get that break working for you, and they will make this diamond table leak.
If you forgot who they were playing, it's Croatia, who has been reduced to a spectator.
Yeah, Croatia had a couple chances early. That storyline is definitely ended. 5-0 now confirmed here. The race to 7. Croatia patiently, positively trying to await an opportunity and, well, trying to get the fans going. They've got a few here in attendance. And you know the Americans do as well. It's not even a half an hour old, this match, and 5 in the books already for Team USA.
And I like the way these two look. This is as good as I've seen Earl Strickland in a while. He's just keeping it within the team. He's not talking to anybody in the
Rack
crowd
6,
and
USA to break, leading by 5 racks to 0.
not talking to the other team. They're going to find a lot of success along the road here if they can keep it just like this.
Well, he may have to slow down a little from here. Got a ball off the break again, but that is what invites him on the 2.
Push out.
So the push out, and if nothing else, Croatia will be able to come to the table to have a look at.
Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes, Jim. He's just, like you said, he lives on this 4x9 table. Lives on it. His whole life is here. You can just see it making the calculations so quickly. Fired up.
Always, Ted. I think he's let Shane see this. He can just get through the 3 and the 7. There's a path. I don't know whether there's enough to be able to make the 2. He can definitely hit it. Very close to whether he can see enough to make it into the top left corner.
That'll work. Must be so frustrating for Croatia.
Well, both of them come out of their chair. I mean, there's nothing here. This is nothing more than a safety, but I think they just both, they may have got their pants pressed and they just wanted to loosen them up a little.
Yeah, no chance to let the stroke out, you know, the arm out, to loosen up a little bit. It's just safety and sit back down. And you got to look at that guy, that pair sitting down, waiting for their response.
Well, again, the 2 has poked its nose out, but I'm trying to look right down the line. I don't think there's enough for Earl to be able to slice it into the corner. He can definitely hit it. Just safety again. Trying to use what balls are there for cover. And he's not happy, and it looks pretty good from where I'm sat. Or maybe he just feels like he's left him a jump shot and didn't even want to give him a sniff. He's got to be careful with the 9 here too. What a shot. You're in your chair. Yes. He's going to try and orchestrate a little noise here. In your chair for 5 racks, and you come out and pull one out like that?
And position on the 3.
It almost looked like he went over the edge of the 9 to make it. Yeah. I'm with you, Earl. What a shot.
You'd like to see the Croatians get one here.
Well, if they don't get one here, they'll never get a better chance.
Thank you.
They appear to have a bit of a cheering section, the Croatians. So I'm sure if they can get these last 3 balls, we're going to hear a nice applause, some cheers from the crowd. And you notice I said if. If.
Well, that was the same man that played the brilliant shot to get him in. Fame can be very fleeting. And a bank here for Shane. Opposite side.
And this 9-ball for a 6-0 score line. And it's just a matter of time before we can pencil in Team USA into the final 16.
Looking to whitewash Croatia. It looked like Croatia was going to be bothering the scorekeeper. Not so. A bad miss from Ivica Putnik and brought the Americans right back in to snatch the rack.
Nothing down for the Americans. I don't care in what sport. Whenever you have USA versus Russia, it just has a good ring to it.
Yeah, absolutely. There'll be a lot of people will be whetting the appetite of a lot of sporting fans with a little history in their minds. Obviously, the Miracle on Ice.
Yeah, I knew you would say that.
You
You're
knew it was
Canadian.
coming.
It's always about, everything comes back to hockey.
Yeah, it says a lot about my country when we're good on everything that's frozen. Well, again, no need to go for anything here because there's just no positional value. So Shane will be looking to duck, but he'll be looking to get that cue ball behind cover and buy ball in hand. And that there would be the definition of cover.
Wow. Perfect. Down 6-0 and playing defense. Not where you want to be. He is kicking at this. This could go seriously wrong.
Foul shot. Ball in hand.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Shane really locked him up there. Ball in hand, bringing Strickland out of his chair.
Start the clock.
And Shane right alongside him.
You just have to get position on the 6 and 7.
Yeah, they're set as a combination, Ted. I was going to say the 6 looks like it needs to be developed, but that 6-7 is dead set into the corner pocket. Shane's just having a look at it again. And he'll want to get from the 5 to the right-hand side of the table. And so Earl will swing this around. He'll draw into this, pull it off 2 cushions. The 3rd cushion will be on the right-hand side to leave the 6-7 combination. Look out. Oh, that's a horrible shot.
Whoa.
That's a horrible shot. I mean, he just didn't dig into the cue ball.
You know, I think Earl should not be, he should just let the ball go.
Foul shot.
Well, that's a bit of disgust the way that he's played the shot.
It's a ball in hand. He could lose the rack. I mean, I'm not sure the exact rule there, but Michaela Tab would probably be well within her jurisdiction to say loss of rack for disturbing the balls like that. Not a smart move, but you know, it's 6-1. Okay, I mean it's 6-0, but it'll be 6-1 in a moment.
And 6-1 it is. The whitewash averted. Now, can Croatia play themselves back into respectability? Enjoying the moment, to be sure. He's not. Strickland allowing Croatia back to the table. Just a horrible shot. He's the first one to tell you. And no prizes for guessing what's going through that mind.
So intense. Look at those eyes, Jim. Just on fire at all times.
Croatia to break, trailing by 6 racks to 1.
What a great talent he is. Still. 50+ years of age, the Pearl, and he can still play with the best of them.
53. Yeah. He's really upped his game, too, in the last year or so.
Well, he moved to New York, and I was talking to him a while ago, and he says one of the best
Illegal
moves he's
break
ever
control
made.
passes.
But the USA gets back to the table very quickly. I think New York has been very good for Earl Strickland, and I think Earl Strickland has been very good for New York.
Can you quieten down, please?
He's looking at the 1-4. Looks like it's just off, so he'd have to overcut this one. Kind of play into an imaginary pocket just to the right of the one that exists. He's attacking. You know, and having a look as Shane looks on, Ted, the proximity of the 2-9.
Absolutely.
You know, watch out 9 here. Earl could try and duck behind the 3 and fly at the 9. Oh, no, he cut it in. I didn't think he could see enough of it.
That's redemption for Strickland. After scratching in the last rack. Boy, back and forth across the table. Great cut shot. And position.
Yeah, what a shot from Earl there. You really can't see Croatia getting back to the table again. No danger. He overhit it, but Earl will just play it off 2 cushions, and the 5 just near where he's cueing. Oh, he's cut it in the corner. Well, again, it looked like he could just cut that into the side and just play the cue ball off 2 cushions, but you never see the shot exactly as the players do. And obviously Earl again wishes he would have had that one over.
So Shane's going to swerve it.
How's your luck? Earl always verbalizes his thoughts.
Extension.
Whenever there's someone around that'll give him an ear. can Croatia get lucky?
No.
I've got it all here, Al. I don't know whose this is.
And that could be it. Earl is just, well, as soon as the ball comes to a rest, Earl is ready to shoot again. Now, he didn't like that, Jim.
Not a good shot again. I mean, Strickland is far from at his best right now. That's another very lax effort from him. And he doesn't shirk responsibility, Ted. He'd be the first to tell you that he's sick with the way he played that shot.
Oh, yeah. He'll tell you for an hour about that one shot.
Extension.
Comes from a pool playing family, does Van Boning. His grandmother was a champion. Well, he took a flyer at the bank.
Okay, so Croatia, still a bit of life. They're on life support.
Yeah, America's had their hand on that plug a couple times and they just haven't pulled it out.
Yeah. It's not because they're being nice, it's because a couple of mistakes from Earl Strickland. This is not gonna be a good result.
This is, again, you know, one of those where it's just containment. Is he going to try and duck behind the 9? Yeah, pretty good shot, all things considered. Easy escape, not so easy to keep it safe.
Foul shot.
Wow, Earl's
Ball in hand.
Earl is that's his third mistake in as many racks.
That's kind of the way Earl races, though. I mean, he runs hot and cold. When he's going, no one can live with him. But those unforced errors tend to creep into his game. And Croatia, happy beneficiaries at this point. 6-2, trying to creep back into this one. And they'll break if they could just put a few good breaks together. Put a little bit of heat on Team USA.
Yeah, well, they haven't had any good runs at all in this match, Croatia. So perhaps it is time. Certainly, they're being given some gifts. Carlo Dalmatan will do the honors. Now Earl's looking behind him, looking for somebody who will lend him an ear.
Rack 9, Croatia to break, trailing by 6 racks to 2.
You know what, Jim? Every time here in England, Strickland has a lot of ears. People are willing to listen, but you know what? They're willing to give it back to him. They love to get Earl going.
Much better break from Croatia. A shot at the 2. And the cue ball is going to head towards the 3. Position is far from guaranteed. And the Pearl is suffering right now. a chance, but he's asking Carlo to play safe. But I'll tell you what, if I'm shooting, I'm going.
Yeah, that can go wrong, can it? There's not a lot of place to hide there. Down at the bottom.
Well, he should get it
Attention.
safe, in fairness, but I mean, he's got a chance. He can cut this 3 into the corner pocket.
He's going the
He's
middle
going to try and
pocket.
duck behind the 8.
Oh.
He's just going to try and pull that cue ball in behind the 8. Well, that's what he was trying, but he missed it.
I agree with you, Jim. I think at this point, now that you've been given that lifeline, something's telling you go offense.
Don't let him come out of their chair.
Yeah, keep him in their chair. Keep him in there, stewing in his chair.
I mean, when you get your opponents suffering the way that Strickland does when he plays a bad shot, you know, just you got to try and lay it to them. You know, keep them in their chair. Let them dwell on all those negative thoughts.
When as good as Earl was early in the match, he is just as bad on the opposite end. Wow, he has fallen apart.
Vica can just, or Carlo, sorry, can just pull this over, stay below the 5 and play the 5 into the corner that he's just queuing over now. No, that's not a very good shot. He knew it. As soon as he hit it, he knew he mishit it. I suppose, Ted, you could say that's a premium of table time. Just haven't had enough on the main match table here to feel real comfortable. Well, that's not his best effort either.
No. You know, if the U.S. had won this 7-0, 6-1, I was going to say how impressed I was and that they had suddenly become one of the favorites, but definitely some question marks now here. And not in this man's game, not in Shane's game. But the question is now, can Earl keep it together?
Oh, great shot. That should seal the deal. Terrific shot on the 6. And Earl will have the opportunity to park the 9 and end it. And 9 goes down. USA 7-2 victors over Croatia. They'll play Russia in the last 16. Stay with us after the break. We'll be having a little chat with Team USA next. So Team USA, Earl Strickland, Shane Van Boning. As you would expect, some terrific shot making. Well, there was a little bit of a fight back from Croatia. A couple mistakes from Team USA allowed them back in, but in the end, the lads from America came good. And they joined me, and boys, kind of a workmanlike performance, but you got to be happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, we got some fortunate goals, so I mean, we're just trying to keep it in there and, you know, do the best we can do.
Earl, as always, I mean, you play to such a high standard, you demand perfection from yourself, don't you?
Yeah, we played virtually flawless except for a couple of bad safeties in the beginning of the match. But, you know, it's a game. It's a nature of the game. You don't know when it's going to change. You make a few mistakes, you can change the momentum. I just made a couple of simple mistakes there, but we played well overall.
Russia next. Any thoughts on that?
Well, it doesn't matter who you play. So I mean, they're all great players, you know, from all over the world. So I mean, you just gotta, you know, it just doesn't matter who you play and just play the game.
Now, you guys, you play at such a consistent pace, same speed, both terrific shot makers and aggressively natured. Do you think that benefits you as partners, Earl?
Well, I don't have to worry about, we don't have to discuss a lot where we want the cue ball. We pretty much know where each of us wants the cue ball. I wish I'd have said something to him when he drew back on the 2, though. But he forgot his spin. He was supposed to hit it with the opposite spin. But that was, you know, like I said, little mistakes can creep in with anybody.
In the Moscone Cup, you were a dominant pairing there as well. You looked, you looked to try and help American spirits a little bit, and that put you in good stead here, didn't it, Shane?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, just the game that we have to play. It's a little stressful, but, you know, we try to have fun.
So back to the practice table, a little bit more getting used to the time change?
Yeah, we feel okay. We're well rested since the flight, and we need to get used to the equipment. The ball sliding like on the 5. When I hit the 5, I didn't hit it thin enough. Hit it too thick, and I know better than that on the slippery felt. But we'll be okay. We just got to keep breaking well and not make stupid mistakes.
Well, again, go get a dinner, relax, little practice after that. You're through to the last 16. Well done. Well done.